First question, Nolan.
Hey, Alex, congrats on the win, man. Pretty good first impression, I think, for your Bellator debut. Were you overall happy with it?
You know, I got the W, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But, you know, as fighters, as people in general, you got to look to keep building. And there's a lot of stuff that I think I could build off that fight. So looking ahead, happy to be here, happy to put on a good show, but I know I can do better next time.
Talk about signing with Bellator too. You know, you were the LFA champ, and you come in and you sign a big contract with Bellator. So how excited are you to finally be making that step to the big stage?
Oh man, it's been a little bit, you know, and I'm not going to say that I had the hardest time, because there's a lot of people going in a lot of places in the world that are having it harder, but there's something to getting that real high LFA championship. Bellator's calling, everyone's on the door, sign with Bellator, and then shut down. No sports, no gym, no work, no nothing. So it's been a long time coming, and I'm happy to be here putting on a good show for some good people.
What do you think it says about you and your abilities that you come in here and you in your debut, you beat a former champion, maybe a matchup that wouldn't have happened outside the pandemic, but here you are, you got a W against a pretty notable guy.
Strange times we live in, man. Strange times. I'm just, again, happy that Bellator gave me a shot. You know, not everybody gets to be lucky enough to get to put to skills put to use the skills that they're given, and my skills just happen to be hurting people. I'm just glad to have a stage to do it in.
I got to ask you, do you wear temporary tattoos when you fight?
They're all gone now, aren't they? Yeah. So when I first started, I was no tattoos, and a lot of fighters nowadays get all inked up, and I thought I want a little piece of that. Time's tough. So the quarter machines at the Woodman's or the local grocery store never disappoint. Throw a couple quarters in there, get inked up on a dime, you know?
Congrats on the win. 7-0 now in your career. All previous of your fights, you've gotten finishes. This is the first time you've gone the duration. How important was it for you to actually log that 15 minutes of cage time?
You know, actually my previous fight at LFA championship went the full distance, ended up getting a finish in that fourth round. But I do think it's important. A lot of times fight fans will watch some of the bigger guys, especially the guys who have a high finishing rate, and they say, well, what happens when he gets put to the test? What happens when he has to push that gas tank? And I'm hoping that I can show people that I can go that distance. I can show that, you know, even down to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I'm still going to be in there. I'm still going to be putting in work.
Obviously, going against the former champ, you know he's a very credible guy. Was there anything in there that surprised you at all? I mean, you look pretty dominant tonight.
You know, in interviews before, I've said it and I'll say it again. I'm not really the type to, you know, watch film on opponents. I'm more focused on me, my game plan. But my coaches always do an excellent job letting me know what I need to do to counter his style. Really not a lot of surprises, but as usual, there's things that we can improve upon. There's things that we can work on. So yeah, just making sure that we're moving forward, improving constantly.
And I was told to ask you this. Apparently you have the same last name as Snooki. Are you related to her?
Man, I was wishing you guys would not dug that up. What kind of investigative reporting are they doing at Bellator? Nobody's brought that up so far. Unrelated, as far as I know. And if somebody finds a family tree and finds it, just keep that a secret, okay? Please? Please?
What did you think of his overall grappling? Because there were points where you were able to get him down with ease, and then he was able to get back up. You were able to keep him against the cage. What did you think of overall? Were there areas he was strong and then weak, and then your overall complete more grappling game was the big difference in the fight?
You know, there's a reason he's a former champion. I mean, he's bringing some hard punches to the table. Standing southpaw, throwing those kicks. Those kicks are coming heavy. I knew coming into it that I was going to be the more grappling-centric fighter. But yeah, he did his homework, and he knew that I was coming to grab him. Did a good job kind of countering up against the cage. He was looking for that tie clinch, and we're trying to dig underneath all the time. He was doing a good job not letting me get underneath because he's got height on me. But one of the things that being kind of a shorty allows me to do is get under people and get to that wrestling position I like. And he was doing a good job trying to make sure I didn't get there.
Now, he's lost to like the elite of two divisions, Vadim, Gegard, Lyoto Machida. For the people that may have not been familiar with what you've done so far, what do you think as a statement this says to the entire industry, the promotion, that I just beat a guy that only lost to the elites? This is how good I am.
I'm going to show my ass a little bit here. I don't really know those guys either. I know that Carvalho is an excellent opponent. I've been told he has excellent credentials, but looking at backgrounds and records really just ain't my deal. I'm looking ahead, opponent in front of me, and I'm just looking at him. That next fight coming up, I don't care about his history. He's got to fight me coming up, and that's all I'm really looking at.
Congratulations on the win, Alex. I got to ask, who do you have in mind for a next opponent with this win over former champion? Who do you have eyes set on next?
If we could carry over from that last one, I don't know. I have no idea. I know that there's some light heavyweights scrapping tonight. The main card, maybe it'll be one of those guys. Maybe it won't be. I know that I have stuff that I need to work back on in the gym before I come back and put on a good show for Bellator. So time will tell.
You also said before at the beginning that you were somewhat disappointed in your performance. If I remember correctly, can you just elaborate on that by any chance?
Excellent opponent, and I know we're getting to higher elite levels. And I misspoke a little bit to say I'm disappointed, but just as any craft person will tell you, like there's never a thing that they do where they say, hey, that was the best I could do. That's the best I had to offer. There's no improvement there. I'm looking at that fight that I just had, happy. I'm going to go back and I'm going to enjoy myself a nice dinner. But come Monday, we're back at it in the gym. We're looking back at this Carvalho fight saying, hey, we goofed up here. Hey, we should have done better here. And we're just looking to build upon where we're already at.
All right, we'll take two more. Ross?
Hey, Alex, awesome win, man.
Thank you.
So I was just really curious. I know it was kind of hinted at earlier, but yeah, 6-0 coming into your professional fights, all by finish. Your 5 amateur fights, all by finish. How much more confidence does this give you going forward? Just having it in your mind that you can win a decision and go in and dominate a guy like Carvalho, who has the history he has.
It feels good, and I mean, I know that sometimes that undefeated record can be a double-edged sword. Guys are afraid that they're going to lose it. But I'm really no stranger to taking L's. I mean, if you look at my college wrestling career record, it's okay at best. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Win, lose, draw. I'm out there to put the pain on the guy. If my real goal, I mean, of course, the W's in the back of my mind, but if I can just make sure that he never wants to fight me again, that's the goal.
Hey, Alex, Kevin here. Two questions for you quickly is, after the end of the fight, we could hear you talking to your corner like, hey, my boxing needs a little work. When during the fight did you did you find your stand-up, the boxing being a little uncomfortable?
You could probably go back and there's a point where he punches me and it knocks my head back, and that's probably when I thought I needed to work on my boxing.
Gotcha. Listen, you said you don't know much about the light heavyweight fighters. Going into beating a former champ, are you going to start doing more research to pave your career path into Bellator for a championship, possibly?
The possibility of a championship, of course, is awesome and on the back of every fighter's mind. As far as doing more research, as I've been fighting for a short amount of time, but compared to my wrestling, which has been going on a lot longer, I've done that in the past. I've tried to be a good student of the sport and do my homework and watch, but really it ends up kind of hindering me more than helping me. I have an excellent team of coaches at Chosen Few, Damian DeCorder, Kane Rizzo, Joshua Steri, and I really depend on those guys to watch film for me, check out what those opponents are doing, and then be able to regurgitate that knowledge in a way that is Alex-centric. So that I'm not worried about what the opponent's going to do. I'm not worried about this special kick that they have coming. I'm worried about the areas that I need to improve that the coaches see will chink away at the opponent's armor.
All right. Congrats on the win. And I love the Patrick Star.
I was hoping somebody would notice.
Sorry, I cut you off there. All right. Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thank you.